Yo, what is good, Swipe Nation? Welcome back to another absolute banger of a video. And today I'm going to be talking about the time where I actually got a laced cart off this plug I didn't know at all. And I actually got super fucked up, like completely out of body high off it. It was such a crazy experience. And I don't even know, it was just the weirdest shit I've ever felt in my life. But for real, let me just say, before we start in this video, I just want to say, hey, I appreciate all y'all for watching this shit, and I hope you guys are having an absolute phenomenal day, a beautiful day, a blessed day for the Swipe Nation, of course, like it always is. And also, I'm sorry for the lack of videos. I've been starting a new semester in college, and I'm still working right now, so hey, it's been tough to get used to, but hey, we're good now, so we're back on the grind. More videos are coming out soon. I appreciate y'all, and let's get into this shit. So this event actually takes place back in 2020, the good quarantine days, if you will. I have so many good, crazy stories from back in this time, so hey, let me know if y'all wanted me to share more of these for real. So we actually weren't even able to use this cart the night we got it, and it was kind of a shame because there was actually two reasons we couldn't use it. One, we didn't have a battery, and two, we actually got caught trying to wire the cart, and it was funny as shit. But yeah, this night, me and my cousin Mark, who was actually one of the characters in my camp video, we were on a mission. We fucking were trying to get a cart really badly, and we didn't have a battery. And this was a bad problem for us because obviously we didn't really know how to wire carts back then. Like we did, but like we were just really dumb. Like I don't know why, we just couldn't figure it out for some reason. So we needed to get a battery. And not to mention, even if we do get a battery, we still have to find a plug to deliver us a cart. And this was back in the drought. Like there was no plugs really. Like it was so hard to find carts sometime. And I wasn't in my hometown, so I didn't have any of my plugs available. So it was super fucking hard for us to find a plug. So me and him are both just going down our Snapchat, texting everyone who sells drugs on this bitch. And hey, eventually someone texted me back and he said he would come out. And this was so weird because this plug was just like the most odd plug ever. I've never bought off him besides this one time. And he claimed to have like LSD carts, Molly carts. I'm like, what the fuck? Like that dude, that's just like so weird. Like that doesn't even make sense. But like he literally drove all the way from Detroit to where we were, which is like an hour drive, and sold us the cart for $40. Like, there's no, like, but there's something just feels wrong about that. Like, I don't even know. But me and my cousin actually didn't end up getting a battery. We went to one of my friend's house who was on vacation, and we ended up just getting drunk in their house because we were waiting for the plug to come and completely didn't get the battery. But hey, we got lit in their house and we left their fridge open and all their fucking food was expired when they got back, for real. But yeah, the plug finally got to meet us and we met him in his sub. So hey, it was pretty close. So we walked out and met him, and he was in the typical sketchy tinted car. He wasn't blasting music, thankfully, but hey, the typical sketchy tinted car. You know the deal is. You know what the deal is. He was this like man I've never seen before. He was Mexican, like bro. Swear to God, this man was so sketch for real. But we get back to his house and we immediately hit the basement and we go to the bathroom and try and figure out how to wire this cart. And little do we know that his dad came down and followed us and he was listening to us, and we were talking about like putting the wires in the holes of the cart, and he like started knocking on the door and he was like asking us what we meant and shit. And we obviously were caught, but we just tried to act like normal, like nothing was happening. And he was like pissed and he sent him to go up like to sleep in his room tonight. So I was just vibing in the basement by myself for the whole night, just trying to get it, and I could not get the wires to work, so I had to wait until the next day to use it. And this was such a pain because we didn't even have another card, so it was like such an L. But hey, here's where the real fun begins, because the next day I go home and I get a battery. And this is where it gets cracking. You know the fun's about to start happening. So I cracked the fucking little plastic off the cart, off the bottom of the cart. I screwed that cart onto the battery. It was like a wood tip cart. Never seen one like that before. Never probably will see it again. Like again, it was probably laced. So I mean, shit. And when I say laced, I mean like laced in a good way. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like this cart got me so out of body high. Like I was so fucked up. I've never felt like that before. And I don't even know what it was, cuz there's no way that was just weed. Like there's no way that was weed what I was feeling. But hey, back when I used to be like fucking like 15 or 16, I think I was like, I don't even know how old I was when I made this shit, or when this happened, but I think I was 15 or 16. So back then when I used to hit cards, I used to count how many hits I took until I got high enough to the point where I couldn't remember what number I was at. So like this is just funny as shit because I start hitting the cart and like I don't even know I got to like 10. Like I know that's like a lot for some people and I was like so fucked up. But then I went to 20 and once I got to 20 cart rips like I was immobilized. Like I don't know how to describe the actual feeling my body was feeling at that point. Like each hit I'm taking is big as fuck and I'm just absolutely coughing up a different organ every time I hit it and it's just so bad. Like I'm getting just instrumentally higher by the second and there's like no way to stop it. It's like you're going up a roller coaster and you know that you're about to like drop down it, like you know that it's about to hit you and then it just does. Like it's over. I was so fucked up. I was just laying there in my bed and then I put my hood on and my sunglasses on for some reason. No idea why the sunglasses were on and I was just chilling. My soul left my body. I was completely withered. I felt evaporated. Like there was no going back at this point. Like the thought of moving, getting up, talking, or interacting in any sort of way with any being or anything was just completely out of my mind. I was just completely transcended in my bed at this point. It was so bad. To put this into perspective from you guys, I've been smoking every day for so long and I'm used to getting like dispensary type shit and like or dispensary quality shit like all around for like the past few years. And this cart was just a random cart off some guy that I've never met before and it got me exponentially higher than any of these carts. Like I was completely fragmented. Like there was no going around it at all. Like this was the most fucked up I've ever been off weed in my or well quote weed end quote. You know what I mean. That's why I think there was actually some other drug in it that wasn't weed because I've never been that fucked up and there's no way that that's the most fucked up I get because I've smoked like blunts back to back, taking massive dabs, but then hitting a cart like 20 times gets me just out of body high, like the most high I've ever been in my entire life. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. But this was bad because I was just laying on my bed for a while and then eventually I noticed something. Something was out of the ordinary in my room. My room wasn't my room anymore. There was something going on in front of me and I looked up and there was a movie playing on my blinds. Yeah, my blinds, you know, like the ones that control the amount of light to get in your room. There was a movie playing on them and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I don't have a projector or anything. Like my PlayStation is plugged into my T. Like what? So I'm sitting there and I'm just watching this shit. And like obviously there wasn't actually a movie going on, but I was literally watching this shit for like 2 hours and then I eventually just fell asleep. I have no clue what this shit was. I have no clue what the fuck I was doing, but I was just sitting there completely paralyzed looking at my blinds like wow. So I woke up the next day and I was just like I felt so high still. Like I don't even know how to describe the feeling. Like I've never been like hungover high. Like it was just weird. I woke up and I felt like so high. Like I just like couldn't move. I was like, what the fuck? Like it was so hard to get out of bed. And you know, like another thing about carts is that you can usually tell like how well like how fast you go through them. You know what I mean? Like within like well measure it in days. And this one took me like so much longer to go through because I just got too high off it than normal carts. So like I just really don't know. Like this cart took me like I think like 2 weeks to go through, and at the time I went through a cart in like 1 week. So like it just took 2 times as long to go through, and it got me like 2 times higher. It was just super weird. But now here's where we get into part two of this story, the greening out of my friend. So, of course I gave this card to my friends to try because I was like, boys, you gotta try this shit. This is the best card I've ever had. It gets me too high. It's too good to be true. Like, there's just no shot that this is real. Like, what the fuck is this? And my friends were all ripping this shit, and they were like, bro, like, what the, like, everyone got, like, too high off of it. It was, like, concerning. So like I said, this is back in 2020 and we didn't have cars. So me and my buddy Austin, who's actually back in the video where I got caught by the cops, he's the one that well went with me to my house to go hit the bong and never got to hit it. So me and Austin are linked up. Of course, we're on the bikes. You know, we're like I said, we didn't have cars or our licenses, so we're biking around. My city's pretty small. It's all within like a 3 to 5 mile radius, so everything's pretty close to each other. So definitely if you're on bikes, it goes pretty fast. And Austin, hey, he's like one of my best friends still to this day. So we used to do this shit all the time. This was common for us. You know, we're just biking around looking for something to do. We're hitting up people. And eventually we hit up someone and he says he's down to chill. And now I'm going to leave him out of this video or leave his name out of the video because He's a pussy, fuck him. Kid's a fucking, he's a loser. Oh shit, but yeah. Yeah, fuck that kid. So we hit up this kid and he's like down to chill. So hey, we bike up and we meet up with him. This kid was one of my best friends back at the time. So we're just getting fucking concerned off this shit. Like, dude, we were getting high as fuck off this shit. And we eventually agreed to meet up with one of our other friends. But the thing is that, like I said, none of us have cars and this kid doesn't even have a bike. So we decided to bike over to his house because we figured that was the smartest option. So hey, we were pretty hyped because this was a move. Well, not and well, it was two moves in itself. We were gonna chill with one of our good friends and go to another good friend's house and get high. So hey, it was like a good ass day. What we were thinking, that's a fucking win-win right there. But eventually, this kid pulls up to us on bike. It took him a second because he was biking, but hey, me and Austin didn't mind it because we were just chilling. And Austin was actually looking to go buy a vape in the time, so he eventually found someone, and he would live right down the street, so it was pretty cool. So right when the kid pulled up, Austin dipped for a second because he went to go bike, and me and the other kid just stayed where we were. And this took him like 20 minutes. Like, he was back really soon. Like I said, these were the times before smoke shops, plugs with good weed or anything. So, hey, we were just fishing basically at this point. Like, it was just fishing for good luck. We were just trying to get what we could. Once Austin gets back, we're all pretty excited because we have a new vape to hit now. Hey, it was nice back then. We didn't have much back then. So, hey, we liked the small shit. You feel me? Once we got our nicotine buzzes in, we hit the road. We decided it was time to go to our other friend's house. It was time to get high. This was also before I started smoking bud or anything, before I started smoking in houses or anything. And this kid's house, we could smoke bud in it. We could just get super high in his house. So we loved to go over to this kid's house. It was also dope. He had a nice ass PC setup, VR, everything. So hey, I was over there all the time. Me and my friends used to chill there all the time. But hey, we had to prepare for a journey because not only was this bike ride out of town, this bike ride was 7 miles and there was no trails, so we just had to bike on the side of the road. So hey, we had a little adventure ahead of ourselves. We were kind of down. This was pretty awesome and we had never done it before. And this is obviously going to take us a while because one, we're high. Two, we were just going slow. Like, we were chilling. We were enjoying the view. Like, hey, it was a nice day outside. We were just biking around vibing. And actually, about halfway through, we had to pull over because I was like just chilling, and I hear, "Hey, yo, yo!" I turn around, and Austin's like, "Bro, hold up, we gotta pull over." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Bro, hold, my shit out of breath. Like, let me catch my shit real quick." I'm like, "All right, bro, all right, for real." So, hey, we pull over on the side of the road. Like, we're literally just on the side of the road next to the guardrail and these bikes, and we just like put them up on the guardrail, and we're just posted up for about like 5 or so minutes. Like I said, it was just a beautiful day outside and we actually felt like kings. We were so uncontrollably high off this cart. Like, it didn't even make sense. Like, this like literally felt like we were playing out a movie. Just like the night before how I'd seen a movie on my blinds, now I was the person in the movie. Like, this cart, dude, it was something so fucking surreal, or I don't even know. This shit was so weird. But I was like, boys, don't you guys feel like you're like the main character? Like, don't you guys feel like you're in a video game or a movie? And they're like, yeah, bro, for real. Like, this shit, like everyone who at that cart said they've never been that fucked up before. So I don't know. There was just something wrong with it. Well, hey, something wrong in the right way. But eventually we make it the other 3 or so miles and we get into the neighborhood. Well, it's not a neighborhood, it's a trailer park, but hey, the trailer park's pretty nice, so I fuck with it. All the homes in there are super nice. Like, I would actually move in there low key for real. And of course, this kid has to live in the very, very back of the park. Like, it is the back. Like, once you get into the park, you have to bike for like fucking 7 or so more minutes until you're at this kid's house. Like, it is a stretch once you're in that bitch. So we were just biking and all of a sudden, this is where fucking just tragedy strikes Austin. Now we're literally like 1,000 feet away from this kid's house. We're like right around the corner, like right around the bend, about to be there. And Austin he just dies. Like, I don't know what happened. He just like starts like swerving on his bike and he doesn't fall over. He's like, bro. And he like pulls over and he gets off and he like stumbles and he just falls over into someone's front lawn. Oh, not even the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Because I was so high, I was laughing so hard, but it's like my best friend, so I was like so concerned about him too. I was like, bro, like, are you good? But like, I'm just like laughing, like trying to catch my breath. I'm like, bro, you're fucked up right now. And he's like, bro, leave me alone right now. Like, he's just absolutely suffering right now off the pen. He's just sitting there on the curb, just literally outside of someone's house, his head in his lap, just his head buried in his lap, just dying. Like we didn't have any water or anything. I think he honestly probably just got like heat stroke or something, and he like passed out for a second. But like, well, like in his, he didn't actually pass out, but like you know what I mean. Like he just got really fucking tired of that shit. He was just chilling there. He like couldn't even do shit. And he's eventually just like, yeah, bro, my body just shut down. And that's exactly how I felt the night before when I was watching whatever the fuck I saw on my blinds. But hey, eventually we digress. We continue because this we still have to move on. We're sitting outside of this person's house for like 10 minutes, just in their front lawn, like. Thank this is a trailer park. I'm surprised they didn't come out and start screaming at us. Thank God. They probably would have been so concerned though if they saw this kid. Like he actually looked like he was on the verge of death. This kid was like white as a ghost. It was so weird. But hey, eventually we do get up and we continue and we make it to the house successfully. We had a great rest of our day and we eventually had to bike the fucking 7 miles back, which was honestly a pain in the ass, but we didn't get too high before because we knew what was gonna happen, or at least for Austin. But hey, like I said, this was a fucking crazy car. Like if it wasn't Lace, the best card I've ever had. Best weed, 100% THC. Like what the fuck? Like of course, too high. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video for real. It was a crazy story. Like I said, I have so many more videos back from this quarantine time. So many crazy, funny stories, just all this shit. Let me know if you guys want to see them. Hey, I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, like I already said. Peace out. I will see y'all soon. I love y'all, Swipe Nation. Stay blessed.